Alrighty, can anyone hear me? Yes, perfect. So, thank you for coming here. I'm Elisabeth, and I shall be demoing 3 different buckwheat dishes for you. Coming from Estonia, buckwheat is something that I grew up with, literally grew up with, so I've had it for as long as I can remember, mostly in the form of kasha, so roasted buckwheat, but since I became vegan, I have learned how to use also raw buckwheat in many different forms, and I shall be showcasing a few different ways of using buckwheat for use then. I shall start with one of the sweet dishes, which is the raw buckwheat crispy style cakes, and for that I am making a hot water bath to melt coconut butter manna in for the base. Just lining a little bit of baking parchment here, so make sure it doesn't stick to the case itself. And what I will be mixing together is raw buckwheat crispies. So essentially they are activated buckwheat. It's raw buckwheat that you have soaked in water for about 2-3 hours until the starches are released. You need to wash it thoroughly until the water gets clear afterwards. And then you dehydrate it until it's nice and crispy again, and that is essentially the buckwheat crispies. You can use that in making your own cereal, mueslis, that kind of stuff. But yeah, this time I shall be using it instead of rice for crispy style cakes. Yeah, so here I'm just heating up some of the manna, hopefully it will melt reasonably fast. And meanwhile I can mix together the almond butter, which is 70 grams, so it has quite decent almond flavor. You can sub it for other ingredients. Is 20 grams of maple syrup. As I said, you can sub that for coconut nectar or any other sweet you fancy. Mix that all together while your manna is nicely melting into a liquid. A little coconut oil to make it a bit more liquidy. Otherwise, manna can be quite thick even when it is in a liquid format. But adding a little bit of coconut oil makes it easier to pour on top, and therefore it covers it more equally as well. And just saying that it does taste amazing, and you can buy it soon from Raw Legend, which is the shop where I'm currently head chef at, based on Cookery station. So it's a really central location to apply. We use quite a bit of buckwheat in our dishes. So yeah, why I'm that fascinated with buckwheat in general is I did my university undergrad degree in nutrition, and my thesis was revolved around plant-based protein, and the study that I wrote my thesis on was essentially comparing 5 different plant-based proteins to meat to see the different levels of satiety. So it had flour in there, it had lupin, it had hemp, green pea and buckwheat. And the acute study that I used for my results, or for data really, came out with buckwheat being the #1 plant-based protein with higher satiety levels than meat was. So here in total for this recipe I've used 100 grams of manna, 50 grams for the base, and 50 grams for the chocolate on top, 15 grams of coconut oil, 5 grams of cacao, because I'm not a fan of the flavor of chocolate. It is melting really fast. So here, got the base pretty much ready. So it's going to be very sticky, it's going to be quite nice and binding, it has a lot of sauce around it. And all you have to do is, once you got it all mixed out, you can just put it in your tin. I'm just using a plastic container for the sake of convenience. You can double the recipe, use for cake tin. You can actually make a small separated cakes if you have like a silicone mold. Just put the base at the bottom and line it up with chocolate. You press it down, it does go quite easily, no problems should occur. And then you just top it up with chocolate. You let it sit in the fridge. I'd say about half an hour would easily do, because the manna does cool down very fast and it is going to make it solid super fast. Alrighty. So the chocolate is quite liquidy, given it has manna. It does go, you can't really see much, you can come closer if you want. It's going to cover it nicely because it is really liquidy. And then you set that in the fridge for about half an hour. You can cut it up into different sizes, into bars, into small bite-sized pieces, and that is essentially my first recipe. And meanwhile, I'm going to do a buckwheat porridge, which is a raw buckwheat porridge. This is something that I've pretty much only discovered in the past couple of months when I realized that you can make raw buckwheat taste pretty good in a blended format. Before I've used it when I was working at Beauty in Richmond, I used it quite a bit to do cake fillings instead of cashews because it does bind quite easily, and it has kind of like nutty texture, or you can always feel the crunchiness of it, but I do enjoy it myself, so if you don't have too picky people to share it with, you should be fine. So for that one, I'm going to use, these are frozen and defrosted strawberries. You can use any berries you want, you can use fresh berries or not. Berries quite a bit to do that as well, especially bilberries. When I was at home, then my mom had tons of bilberries lying around, so I used a lot of that. And like even leave the buckwheat to soak in the evening, and in the morning you just blend it together with any ingredients you really feel like, and voila, you got an amazing breakfast. Always blend in some chia seeds, that'll pick it up really nicely. And yeah, that is that. So all you literally have to do is blend it. Just make sure, like however smooth you want it. I quite like it smooth, otherwise you're gonna have long pieces all over you. Seeing at the texture how that is like, it is quite liquid at the moment, so actually I am gonna go ahead and use some chia seeds. Now when you blend chia seeds, obviously it's gonna soak up the liquid a lot faster than just mixing it in, when you're actually gonna have to leave it for a couple of hours, so I'm going to work out that. Amazing when you have like a cross view of what you're gonna find in your food. You can use any other berries that you want, so, you know, just layer it up. I've used goji berries before. You can dust it with some either pulverized xylitol or some icing sugar, depends on how healthy you want it to be. And I'm gonna just top it with a little bit more of with the frozen strawberries. And I think the compote on top does add quite a bit to the flavor itself. And yeah, maybe just a touch more of coconut, and I think a sprinkle of cinnamon will work nice as well. Voila! And that is your buckwheat porridge. So I think that is... I'm also going to pop 1 cube of vegetable stock into the kasha. So I'm going to put into the risotto are sweet courgettes and carrots. Do not feel obliged to actually stick by them. I mean, you can really go crazy. There are no rules or regulations. Kasha is coming along quite nicely. Getting like, how you can know if the kasha is ready? Obviously, it's not like raw pasta where the water is actually going to change when you are going to soak in water, because it gets all pink or purplish due to the starches that are in buckwheat. Then kasha, it gets quite soft now. It has also the al dente or dense forms. You can have it really, really nice and soft, and it's going to be really super like porridge-like. Or you can have it more a bit crunchy, so it actually holds the form. Now normally I would use buckwheat in any scenario to replace rice, for example, because it is, I believe, a lot healthier than rice for you. It's done a mixture of onion powder, of garlic powder, of dried oregano, and a little bit of sea salt. I brought some extra with me just because I have no idea what the actual amounts are. You can try and measure things up, but everything is different, so you can never really expect things to turn out the exact way as you want them with such small quantities. So I've got like a tiny pinch of garlic powder and onion powder in the mix that I'm going to use right here. I've got my veg chopped, and I think the kasha is done. It is going to bring some of the flavor of the stuff that you would use at the beginning, but I mean, it's still worthwhile. cookery. That's it. So I got Elisabeth over there, is transplant of the world, and I some white tea and creamy and stuff like that, so it's looking quite good. You can put in all of your veg. It is quite heavy, I'd say maybe volume-wise it's definitely as much veg as there is buckwheat. So yeah, you can modify that according to whatever you do for yourself. Turn off the heat now, but keep it still on the stove. You don't have lots of parsley still chopped. And yeah, parsley is one of the key elements I think. And fresh more than I'd say dry one. It just has a lot better flavor in general. And I think a bit more intense as well. And it gives a nice color to it. So yeah, parsley nicely and finely or roughly if you want it. Then mix it all in, and now comes my special preparation here. So oregano, garlic powder, a little salt, and onion powder. Just a pinch of each, pretty much more, like about 5 times as much of the oregano as there is of the other. So it's all about playing with the food, seeing what your food likes, see what you like in your food. So yeah, I kind of go right with the black pepper because it really changes the flavor a lot. Especially ground is always a bit like nicer flavor as well than if you only buy it ground. But again, I kind of and essentially that is as fast as that. It is like 5 times faster if you actually use either a grater or